Well, welcome. Thanks for joining me for another episode of Business and Legal Q&A Live. I'm your host, Peter Lamont. This is utlradio.com, your business success and legal information station. And today we are at episode 180, and we have a very good business question. And let me get to that, and then we'll do some announcements, and then we'll answer the question. So the question is, I started my own online marketing business 2 years ago. I have one employee who I totally trust. My wife and kids keep asking me to go on vacation, but I feel too guilty leaving the business even for a week. What's your opinion? Should entrepreneurs take a vacation? Thank you, and keep up the great work with the show. Well, first of all, I want to thank Mike G. of Paramus, New Jersey, who submitted this question. And we're going to get to that question in 1 minute. But before we do, I would like to just make some brief announcements. So this Thursday, September 3rd, we're going to be speaking with Rich Gaspari on our Understanding Business show. And for those of you who ever followed professional bodybuilding or just health in general, you should know Rich Gaspari. He was a world-class bodybuilder in the 80s and 90s. He was in the Mr. Olympia contest and is the CEO and founder of Gaspari Nutrition. Now, if you go into any GNC or vitamin shop, you are going to see Gaspari Nutrition products. And we're really, really excited because we're going to be talking to Rich about his transition from an athlete to an entrepreneur. And his journey to entrepreneurship is very educational. We're going to learn a lot from him because, here you have a guy who was a bodybuilder, and, we all in society have this perception of bodybuilders. And now he is in charge of one of the world's largest supplement and nutrition companies in the world. He has great products, great customer service, and we're going to talk to him about how he was able to develop this brand, Gaspari Nutrition. Now, I want to mention just one other thing. We're doing a giveaway this Thursday, and it's actually pretty cool because he has a book called 51 Days, No Excuses. And if you go to utlradio.com, you can click on the slider link you'll see on the homepage. There's the screen that slides through, and there is a link to the Gaspari giveaway. And all you have to do, it's really rather simple. There are full terms and conditions listed on the site if you go down into the footer. But all you have to do is listen to the show this Thursday and then leave a review on iTunes. Email us a print screen of the review, and you are automatically entered to win a copy of the book, 51 Days, No Excuses by Rich Gaspari. Also, I want to remind you that if you're interested in speaking with Rich or asking him questions, you can call into that live show at 347-855-8831 on Thursday at 10 a.m. Super excited to have Rich on the show. I also want to mention that tomorrow, Wednesday, September 2nd, we're going to have our last show of On a Different Note. And tomorrow's guest is going to be Craig Greenberg. He has garnered a reputation as being a troubadour piano man. And we're going to talk to him about his use of social media and internet and how he was able to develop himself as a musician and build a following. And we're going to take some of his lessons and be able to apply them to business and being an entrepreneur. So we're also excited to be speaking to him. As you may remember, On a Different Note was our sort of summer program on Wednesdays where we brought on different either musicians or musical groups. We had the Willis Clan, and we talked to them about their experiences, not just in the music industry, but as business people and entrepreneurs in general. So this is going to conclude our On a Different Note series. We are going to be doing a different show in the next few weeks. What we're going to be doing actually is We're going to maintain the week in review on Monday. We're going to do legal Q&A on Tuesday and then business Q&A on Wednesday. And we have a lot of great things planned for the business Q&A show. Also, if you have any interest in giving me your opinion and talking to me today about your take on this question that we're going to get to about entrepreneurs and should they take a vacation, you can call into the show today live at 347-855-8831. You'll be put into the switchboard, and then we'll pick you up, and you can ask your question live on air. All right. Final note before we get into the answer, don't forget to go to utlradio.com and look at all of the things that are on the site that we have for you that, either are informational or resource links. There's just a ton of information, and I really encourage you to go check out the site and see what free information is there for you. There is a free guide to legal writing for the non-lawyer. There's information from our other podcasts about business success and business development. We had a really, really great interview last week with Mia Redrick about moms and their ability to be entrepreneurs and still be great moms. It was a very great interview. And beyond, the mom factor, she just gave a ton of a really, really great information. She opened up and shared a lot of information with us. And, we're very appreciative of that. But you can check that out on utlradio.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the blog on iTunes and visit utlradio.com. All right, so let's get to Mike's question. So this, again, is Mike G. of Paramus, New Jersey. I want to thank you for submitting your question. You, of course, will receive a UTL Radio mug. So Mike started his own online marketing business 2 years ago, and his family has been after him to go on a vacation. But he says he feels too guilty leaving his business even for a week. Now, look, this is a common thing with entrepreneurs. Most entrepreneurs, especially when you're just starting out, or if you're in a small business, it's you and maybe an assistant, or maybe it's just you, there's this guilt associated with doing anything other than working on the business. And it's a natural thing. But Mike, he has a family that's after him to take a vacation, and he hasn't taken one in 2 years, and he wants to know what my opinion is about taking a vacation. So let me explain how I feel about vacations. I think, quite honestly, that they're absolutely necessary. I think that every single one of us, whether you are employed by a company or you're an entrepreneur or whatever you might be, whatever your career is, I think it's very important that we all understand the value of taking a vacation, of recharging. And I think that entrepreneurs suffer from that guilt where they just don't want to go and take that vacation because now they're away from their business for a week. So I want to talk a little bit about vacation in general, and then I'm going to talk about what you need to know if you're an entrepreneur, how you can manage your business while you're away, and hopefully encourage you to get out there with your family and to recharge. So when I started my first business, I was extremely hesitant. I didn't want to go away. I didn't want to even be home on the weekends, quite honestly, because I felt this need to constantly be working. And over the years, I've learned that the time you put in is important, but the quality of your commitment, I think, is more important than the time. A lot of times, in speaking to entrepreneurs, I hear them saying things like, I'm in the office all day, I'm at work all day, and then I say, okay, fine, but tell me what you did throughout the day. And when you actually break down the 10, 12, 13 hours that they're at work, you realize that a good 3, maybe 3.5, maybe even 4 hours are spent on tasks that either could have been delegated, outsourced, or didn't need to be done in the first place. And when you look at the quality of your commitment per day, and you have got to be honest with yourself. You've got to take the time to say, what do I do when I get into work? And this goes for people that are employed by companies or entrepreneurs. What do you do when you get into work? How long does it take you to get ready to start working for the day? When you get in, do you know what you are going to do in the morning? Do you know what you're going to do in the afternoon? Do you have a plan laid out? Do you have a to-do list for the day? Or do you flounder? Do you look? Do you stumble? Do you look for papers that you misplaced? What is your day filled with? How much of your day is filled with stuff that you could outsource or give to somebody else? How much of your day is filled with, problems that you've created for yourself, primarily because of lack of organization? If you look at that, you'll find that you can save time during the day. You can create better, more quality time during the day to get your work done. Now, as an entrepreneur, work is never done. Owning your own business, work is never done. You're constantly competing. You can constantly do better. But there comes a point where every business owner hits a wall. And that wall is hit because you have been pushing so hard. You have been working so hard, and you haven't taken the time to recharge your batteries. And that's exactly what a vacation is. So my simple answer to Mike is, Mike, absolutely, you need to take a vacation. You need to recharge your batteries. You need to spend time with your family, because for those of us who are business owners or entrepreneurs and we have family, I think one of the most important things that we can do is to spend time with them. Life is extremely short. And I don't need to tell you that. The days go by. I mean, look, here we are, a new school year already. I don't know where the summer went. I mean, it flew by. And here we are, facing fall, winter, back to school. The holidays will be around the corner before you know it. So time goes by quickly, and it's important to spend time with your family. But separately, it's important to take the time to recharge. So when you're an entrepreneur and you're thinking about going on vacation, when should you do it? I mean, should you do it 6 months after you've set up your business? Should you do it a year? Should you wait 3 years? That really depends on the status of your business. I would not advise taking a vacation as you're trying to build your brand and your company. Within that first year, maybe a weekend trip, but to take anything longer than a few days, it can be challenging because you're trying to set up and establish your business. But, in Mike's condition or Mike's situation where he's worked for 2 years and he has an employee that he trusts, that's the perfect opportunity, the perfect time to go out and to take that vacation, because he can delegate the work. And, if it's a week that he's gone, how much could happen in a week? And some of you will argue with me and say, oh, a lot can happen in a week. Sure, a lot can happen in a week. I could get hit by a bus this week, and that could be the end of my week. My point is that you've got to look at the marathon of entrepreneurship, not the sprint. Entrepreneurship is not a sprint. Being an entrepreneur and being a business owner is time, commitment, and patience. That's what you need to be successful. You cannot rush everything. And therefore, when you're thinking about a vacation as an entrepreneur, you've got to think to yourself, if I take this week vacation, in the grand scheme of the marathon, how much am I going to lose? How far am I going to set myself back? And I bet you that if you look honestly, you're going to realize not too much, not too far. And the benefits of recharging are so significant that by not taking that vacation and not recharging, you're just doing yourself a disservice and your business, because you can't go all the time without recharging. Every single motivational speaker out there, every single successful business person, every entrepreneur who has been in business for a significant amount of time will tell you that it's important to take care of you and your psyche and your mental outlook. And by taking a vacation, you can do that. Now, we've discuss the fact that you should not take one as you're trying to build your business within that first year. I mean, that's, I think, a relatively straightforward point. You don't want to start a company and then 6 weeks into the business be taking a vacation. That's just silly. When else would you not want to take a vacation? Well, if you don't have money, if your business is sucking, your personal funds out of you, and you're trying to build your business, so you're diverting all of your cash into your business, you don't want to go and take a vacation. You don't want to go and put things on a credit card so that you could have a vacation. Not good. But there are so many things that you can do that don't involve a significant amount of money that still give you that vacation feeling. I mean, you could, quite frankly, go to the park every day and read a book and disconnect from work for a while, take a few days, recharge. You don't have to go to Brazil. You don't have to go to somewhere in South America or France or Canada or Florida. You can go wherever you are and just recharge by refocusing on something relaxing and enjoyable. That could be a vacation enough to help you recharge. You've got to also understand that for those of us who experience guilt, especially with respect to our businesses and taking a vacation, you have to understand that that is a feeling that you are creating yourself. Because unless you've got some third party out there, partner, employee, parent, sibling, friend, making you feel guilty, right? Guilt is something that we just create ourselves. And when I say making you feel guilty, they're saying things to you and you're interpreting those comments and translating it into feelings of guilt. Really, nobody can make you feel guilty except for you. And it's just the way that you focus on what you're doing and perceive. So the idea of feeling guilty that you're on vacation, it's hard to get over. And it takes a lot of, I think, mental strength to say to yourself, I'm going on vacation for a few days, for a week, for a weekend. And I am going to fully recharge. I'm going to enjoy myself. And I'm not going to have any feelings of guilt that I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing. I'm just not. And refuse to have those feelings, and you'll be okay. Now, money, brand new business, times that you don't want to take a vacation, all of the other times, as long as you're acting reasonably as an entrepreneur, I think vacations can be great. What do I mean by acting reasonably? Well, look, if you are the only one in your business and you want to take a vacation and you shut down completely and you disconnect your cell phone and there's no way to communicate with you, well, that could be problematic, right? And that would not be wise to take that approach, because then all of a sudden nobody can get in contact with you, right? So being reasonable as an entrepreneur going on a vacation really means that you are taking the necessary steps to carry on in the normal or average everyday course of business. If you don't have somebody there to step in for you to help you, then you're going to have to be available. But there's nothing wrong with saying to a client, I'm going to be on vacation. Everybody is entitled, and I think everybody in today's world expects that people go on vacation. It's just a matter of being responsible as an entrepreneur. Don't leave to go on a vacation in the middle of an unfinished project without telling your client that, hey, listen, I'm going to be going away. Your project will be completed on X date. So don't do things foolishly. Don't leave when you've got deadlines. Don't leave when you've got important projects that could take your business to a next level. That wouldn't be smart. But the overall idea of taking a vacation, I think, is a smart idea. It's just how you approach it. I've seen a ton of people who have their own business decide that they're going to go on vacation for a week. They shut down their business, shut down their cell phone. You can't contact them. And then they come back and they wonder why people are complaining or think that they've gone out of business because they're not there. If you communicate with your client base, then they understand. If you have a website and you need to indicate that you'll be away, or an email autoresponder, those are smart things to do. If you have a project that you're working on again, talk to your client and say, I'm going to be away for a week, but don't worry, everything's on schedule. Now, while you're away, and this goes back to what I was saying with some of these people that make these rash decisions like, all right, vacation's good for me, I need to recharge, I'm going right now. And they shut everything down, and then you can't contact them and you can't get in touch with them. As a responsible entrepreneur and business owner, you do need, while you're away, to check in on your business. You do need to stay aware of things that might be happening and opportunities that might be coming your way. You don't want to miss an opportunity. But you know what? And it's taken me a long time to get to this point. You need to understand how to relax and take a vacation and still manage and maintain your business. You need to understand that you can check your voicemail twice a day. You can check your email 3 times a day, but you don't need to have that phone glued to your hand and constantly looking at your email. What vacation is that? How are you recharging if you are constantly worried about, well, did somebody email me? Did I miss an email? And I think we get to that point in our lives as entrepreneurs where we feel that we must do for everybody immediately. When we get that email, we must immediately respond. We don't want people to know that we're not there. We've got to do it immediately. I get that, but it's not healthy. Okay, you need to set your own timetable and schedule with respect to being on vacation and checking in with your business. So, look, people will have different opinions. They're going to say, as an entrepreneur, you never take a vacation. And I have a hard time believing that. And I also have a hard time seeing how that would be beneficial for anyone. Because, it's like we talked about the example of running a marathon. That would be like a marathon runner not running over to the sideline to pick up a glass of water. They're just going to go straight through, no water. Are you going to be as successful? Or is that, matter of a few seconds while you're getting the water going to help you later on in the race? And my belief is that it's going to help you. So I believe, Mike, that you can take a vacation if you do it smart, that you should take a vacation so long as you're not in a situation like I spoke of, where you're a brand new business and you haven't established anything yet, or you have no money and you've got to borrow and use credit for it. Those are things you should not do. But other than that, as long as you have your business squared away before you go away, you should be okay. If you've got somebody in place who can take care of your business for you while you're away, communicate with them, talk to them, tell them what you expect of them, tell them when you will be checking your messages, when you'll be able to respond to inquiries, when you won't. Communicate with those people. If you're by yourself, communicate with your clients. Tell them you'll be away. Explain when you'll be checking your emails and voicemails, and that way there's no expectation that you're going to be on call 24/7. So I think it's an important question. It sounds, when you read the question, when you think about the question, should I take a vacation? It sounds silly, but it's really not. And I think it's something that entrepreneurs struggle with all the time. Should I take a vacation or should I continue to work? And it goes, both ways. But I think if you want to be your best, you need to recharge. And I quite frankly would encourage people to take smaller vacations throughout the year so that you're not waiting until summer for your week vacation. Take time throughout the year, take a weekend, take a few days, take a day off, Remember back to your days in high school, you needed that mental health day, right? Well, we still do today. And if you're an entrepreneur, you can't have feelings of guilt because you need to take a day to get yourself straight. You are the captain of your ship, and only you can steer it in the direction that you want to go in. You can't have other people take the helm for you. You need to be able to be clear thinking enough to know, okay, I want to achieve this goal, and here's how I'm going to do that, and here's how long it's going to take me. And you're going to need to take water breaks throughout that marathon. And that's what a vacation is. It's a water break along your marathon route to success. So I hope that answers your question for you, Mike. That is my opinion. And I encourage you to take some time to take that vacation and to recharge. There's plenty of resources out there that will allow you to communicate with your office remotely and check your email and check your computers. And there's just no reason in this modern day and age with technology that you shouldn't be entitled to take a break. So as the old McDonald's adage said, you deserve a break today. And I firmly believe that as an entrepreneur, you should take a break to recharge. When you're working, go 110%. When you're not working, go 110% in the other direction and recharge your batteries. It's the only way it works. So thanks for submitting the question. You'll be receiving a free UTL Radio mug. A lot of great things coming up in this month of September. We've got a lot of great interviews. We have some giveaways planned. Obviously, I talked to you about the Rich Gaspari book giveaway, 51 days, no excuses. We've got a ton of other things that are going on, and we're very excited about them. I'm going to be announcing them in the next few weeks, but we've got a lot of projects that we're working on that is going to bring you more information about success in business, success as an entrepreneur, and success in your personal life. So I'm excited about this fall season and all the things that we have planned. I'm excited about our guests and our changes to the website. And I want to hear from you guys. I want to thank, first of all, everyone who has been with us from the beginning, and those of you who are brand new to utlradio.com. Thanks to those people who have recently subscribed on YouTube and Facebook. I appreciate it more than I can tell you, because it just makes me feel as though we're doing something beneficial, that people are getting something out of this. Now, one final comment I want to make about helping people. I think that, we live in a world where we become so self-centered. And I think that, that self-centered, ego-driven focus often is detrimental to us, both as business owners and as people. And, at this time of year, people don't often think about giving to others. They're thinking about back to school. They're thinking about fall. It's not until the holiday season do we start thinking about the season of giving and how we can help other people. And really, the idea of helping people is an idea that should be with us all year long. And one thing that has bothered me, I remember back in school, as a kid going to school, I was super excited about going to see my new teacher, getting my school supplies. I remember back in the 70s when my father would take me to the local stationery store, and we'd buy a folder or a Trapper Keeper, and it was like the most exciting thing ever. And you'd have new school clothes and new shoes. And there's always that family in school that you knew didn't have enough money to get their kids brand new stuff. And as an adult, as a parent, I really feel as though we could do much more to help people, especially at this time of year, the time of year where people don't truly think about giving. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing the first ever, it's the first annual utlradio.com scholarship program, scholarship fund. We're going to be giving away 4 $100 gift cards to families and parents who might need some help getting their kids ready for school this September, whether it's buying clothes or buying lunch or buying school supplies, whatever it is. And we really want to help, those people that might need it. And so there's going to be, hopefully later on today, instructions and information about how you can submit your entry into this giveaway. It's really not necessarily a giveaway as much as it is we're going to be analyzing submissions that come in from requests from those people that might need assistance, and we're going to be selecting those people that seem to really need it and could really use the money to help them and their kids in this brand new school year. And I know that, it's not a tremendous amount of money, but if we can help a few parents or a few families or a few kids feel a little bit better about this school year, maybe get some new supplies or some new shoes, then I'll feel good about what we've done. And I'm looking forward to that. So what I would ask you to do is, once we get the information up on our site and on social media, please share it with people. Let them know about this. Maybe there's someone in your community that could use just a little bit of extra money to help them this school year. And I would encourage you to share that information with them. So I just want to let you know that that's coming. And then hopefully, when the information is up, you'll share it with people, and let's see what we can do this school year to help people just make it a little bit easier. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. I want to thank you all for subscribing and listening and sharing this information with your friends, family, and colleagues. Please don't forget to visit utlradio.com. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow to our final episode of the summer of On a Different Note, with myself and my co-host Bob Hughes and our guest Craig Greenberg. And then Thursday, don't miss Understanding Business, when I interview Rich Gaspari about his journey from athlete and professional bodybuilder into CEO and top successful entrepreneur with Gaspari Nutrition. That's going to do it for today. I want to thank you all, and remember that there's power in understanding the law.